In this video, I started out with $0, a lawnmower, and a truck, and now I have the challenge of building a profitable landscaping business from scratch. But there's a twist. I only have a year to do it. This is season 2, so will I make it big or will I go broke? Stay tuned to find out. And if you guys enjoy content like this and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and drop on a like helps too. Anyway, let's go build a business. It is another day, another dollar back out here on the landscaping business. We've got $45,000 in the bank account. We did have a lot more, but I decided to build myself a new to me truck and get myself a new trailer, which I get to use today, which is pretty exciting because we've got a lawn mowing job first thing this morning, but actually not much planned after that. We've honestly been in kind of a dry spell at the moment, so not a whole lot of people have been needing their lawns mowed, and that has been a big decline in work for us. At any rate, I've been looking around at auctions, trying to find some other equipment that can maybe get us back on track here, get us some more work until the rain picks up and then grass starts growing again, and then we get more work. However, it could be a little while till that happens, so we got to prepare for the worst by possibly spending a bunch of money, because that's the smart thing to do. Not gonna lie, I've been a little bit sad since I sold my nice Ford. I haven't had my plush leather interior, but hey, all in the name of growing the business, I suppose. Did I miss my turn? Ah, there's the house. I gotta say, it is so much nicer having a tilt deck trailer. Now I don't gotta deal with pulling out ramps, none of that junk. I just fold the trailer down, done deal. It's as easy as that. I believe we've done this lawn before, and it seems to be the only one that's grown in the last little while. I don't know what they're putting on this lawn, but must be working. So I just finished up the front side of the lawn here, and I had to stop for a minute because I got a call. It was a guy that wanted a power line trenched in, and that's the second call I've gotten this week about someone that's wanted a job done with an excavator or something that I just couldn't do because I don't have the right equipment. Well, in this case, I suppose an excavator. So we're literally missing out on work because I don't have the right equipment. Now, I might have to fix that. However, excavators are not cheap at all. It's not like dropping 10 grand on a mower. It's closer to like 40, 50 grand for even a cheap, crappy one. And our main issue is we can't go and get one of those bigger ones, which are usually the cheaper ones because they're older and, you know, got more hours on them and that. Nah, we'd have to get a smaller one because of what we can tow with our pickup truck. So I don't know. That might have to be something I'll look into. Now the job done, I'm going to load up the lawnmower here real quick with my nice and simple tilt deck trailer. Oh, this is so much nicer. Let's go collect our paycheck and get the heck out of here. 200 bucks in the bank account, bringing us up to $45,503. Back at the compound once again. Let me know down in the comments, should I sell this little trailer here? You know, now that I kind of got the big gooseneck, I don't really need a bumper pull. It'd be nice for certain things, but I just don't think we have it in the budget to just keep stuff around that we're not using. I don't know. I may or may not sell it. So I just finished unhooking the trailer and I get a call for another job, and it is quite possibly the smallest job we've ever been called for. It's not even worth taking out the lawnmower, so we're just gonna grab the push mower. Now the even suckier part is this job was right next to the lawn we just did. It's literally a shop like right across from that house. So we're gonna go do it, I guess. Man, if they'd only called like 20 minutes sooner, it would have been like perfect timing. But no, now I gotta drive all the way back into town, and you best believe they're getting charged mileage. So right here's the place. This is what we got called out for. I'm not sure why they have a strip of grass right next to their shop, but this is it. There's no other parts here to mow. And yeah, the house that we did, it's right there. It's so ridiculous. So the minimum we charge to come out and mow a lawn is 50 bucks. So that's what these people are getting charged. This is like 4 passes with the push mower. Yep, here we go. Just mowing this little chunk. Nothing much to see here. I can't believe we're doing this. This is so ridiculous. Well, that's it. All done. Took no more than a minute. Well, payment collected of $50 whole, and we are on our way back to the compound. All right, so it's been a couple hours here, and I've been on some equipment websites, and I may or may not have just made the best financial decision for the business or the worst. In other words, I bought an excavator. Now you're probably wondering, Austin, where'd you get the money for the excavator? Because I only have $45,000. And well, yes, that could technically buy an excavator. It wouldn't buy what we need. So I took a loan out, used the property as collateral, along with a couple other pieces of equipment here, for $100,000. Now it seems ridiculous to spend that much money on just one piece of equipment, but this piece of equipment is going to be super versatile and allow us to take on a lot more jobs, especially after turning down 2 already. I was looking at a backhoe, which would have been a sufficient option, but I figured go big or go home, right? Now, mind you, the backhoe would have been about $50,000 less. That, and I just got out of debt. I just paid off the last amount owing on the property, and now we're right back in debt. Anyways, I'm headed to go pick this thing up. I hope I didn't just make a terrible financial mistake. Well, it's been a couple hours here, and I am just pulling back into town here. I had to grab some fuel, but our terrible financial mistake is on the back of the trailer, and we're pretty overweight at the moment, but we're making it work. Check this bad boy out. This is a brand new to me John Deere 75P excavator. It's more of a mini excavator, but not quite. It's kind of middle of the road. Definitely on the smaller side though. I paid $100,000 for it with my loan. It's got roughly 100 hours on it, so not that much as far as excavators go. Got a light bar. The windows are slightly tinted. Came with 2 buckets, 1 smooth bucket, 1 tooth bucket. It's got the rubber tracks so I can go on pavement and not worry about tearing that all up. And it just barely fits on my trailer, but it does weigh it down a good amount. So that's a little worrying, but you know, we'll cross that road when we get there. Anyways, I gotta fill this truck up with fuel. This is gonna be expensive. There we go, $100 later. Man, that's not cheap. We're now down to $45,453 and $100,000 in debt. Yeah, this could bankrupt our business. Well, it is the next day here, and as I was looking out my window this morning sipping my coffee, I thought, hey, let's go spend some more money. Nope, that was not actually my thought this morning, but I've got a friend down at the trailer dealership, and I let him know when I went and picked this trailer up if there was any dump trailers that came in, you know, something used that wasn't going to cost me an arm and a leg. Like 30 grand for a new dump trailer is ridiculous. I was not paying that he should let me know. And this morning he gave me a call and said, hey, we just got this one in, 15 grand. It's in nearly perfect condition. You should come down and take a look at it. So that's what we're going to go do. Now, is this a smart idea in our current situation? Absolutely not. But are we going to do it? Yeah, we're going to go do that. Now, I do have 3 jobs lined up for later today. I called back the 2 clients who I told I couldn't do the jobs for because we didn't have the right equipment. But now that we have the right equipment, I called them back and said, hey, are you still interested in getting this stuff done? They said, absolutely. So we've got those 2 lined up. And then I got a call last night about a trail that needed cleared out. So we're going to go do that as well. So we've got a fully packed day. Hopefully we can make some of our money back. Hey, check it out, guys. I went and picked up my next poor financial decision, which cost us $15,000, which brings us down to $30,000. But this trailer should be perfect for what we need. The only problem with this trailer is it does not have super high sides, which is kind of a problem, but I've been told we can add sides onto it. It does have the slots for it, so if we need to, we can do that, but for now, we should be all right. It also has ramps on the back, which is really nice for loading the excavator right into the back of this, and it is a triple axle, so it can handle a little more weight than the other trailer we have. That's also another reason why I bought it. Man, if I keep buying equipment like this, we're gonna have a fully stocked yard here very soon. So I'm not entirely sure yet how well this trailer is gonna handle this weight, but we're gonna see. This is also my first time operating this machine outside of loading it onto the other trailer, and this one's proving to be a bit more challenging. I gotta lift our blade up here a little bit. There we go. Nice. Now we're talking. All right, we are loaded. Now this is a money-making setup if I've ever seen one. Well, I hope it is at least. Otherwise, we're gonna go broke. Hopefully the old Chevy can handle this much weight. I know I did say when I built this truck that I upgraded the suspension to haul a lot more weight, but this was not exactly what I had planned, and yeah, we're pushing a little more than we should, but we're gonna go for it at any rate. All right, so we're pulling up to our first job here, and you might be thinking, Austin, there's nothing here. Well, not yet there isn't. These fields are owned by a local farmer just down the road here, and he wants 2 new approaches built. He's already got the culverts laid out here for us. So literally all we've got to do is just adjust the culverts a little bit to line up a little better, and then put a bunch of dirt over them. Now, technically, this could have been done with a skid steer, but an excavator just makes it that much easier. Plus, he wants us to try clear out this one ditch a little bit because it's got a bunch of shrubs in it, and drainage does not work very well when you got a bunch of junk in the drainway. So I'm going to get the excavator unloaded here, and then we got to go pick up a load of topsoil, or just soil in general, which actually isn't going to cost us any money because the farmer already has a bunch of it at his farm, and he said just come grab it from there. He'll go ahead and load it up for us, so that's perfect. Everything's unloaded. Let's go get some loads of topsoil here. All right, first load of soil. We're just gonna go ahead and back right up to where we want this approach and just dump it right in there. Actually, I should probably go and move that culvert a little bit straighter here. Yep, there we go. Dumping out the first load here. We'll probably need a bunch more. That's my guess anyway. So I just finished dumping about 5 loads of soil here, and this should be about good enough. Now, the downside of having a dump trailer without the high walls is starting to come into effect just a little bit, but we're making it work. The first thing here, we're just going to try to smooth this all out kind of with the blade, and then maybe bring in another load or 2 of topsoil if we need it. Not sure if we will yet. Yeah, I think we're going to need it though. Man, who would have known? The first part we're using of the excavator is the flipping blade. Well, go figure, I guess. We're probably going to need about 1 more load, and that should about do it. All right, well, there's approach number 1 done. He said he didn't need them terribly wide, so this is what we're going with. I didn't end up needing another load of soil for this particular culvert, but we're going to need to bring in a bunch for the other one. But it's actually looking not too bad. So we're at about 5 loads here so far. I'm about to dump the 6th here on the 2nd approach we're doing, and this should be enough to finish it off. Then I just got to go ahead and smooth it all out with the excavator. I guess it's always better to have more than not enough. Starting to think I should have just bought a dozer. You know what's funny about this little excavator though? It's better at pushing dirt than my dadgum little skid steer there. That thing absolutely sucks for it. But this thing's actually not too bad. Like, we can push a good amount here. All right, well, that is the 2nd approach done here. We had a little bit extra dirt for this one. I should have just stuck with the 5 loads. That's why this approach is a tad bit wider, but it still looks pretty dang good. Anyways, I guess I'm gonna load this all back up here and go collect my payment. I did end up putting the bucket on the back of the truck here since we don't really need the smooth bucket. It just kind of keeps it out of the way a little bit better. Well, I got my money, $2,000. That brings us up to $32,328. Not too bad. Anyways, we're just pulling up to the next job here, and this one, we need to clear out this old trail, make it a little bit wider, so I'm probably gonna have to go grab the lawnmower at some point, just because there's a lot of brush and stuff here that needs to be cut. But the main problem is these big old trees back here. There's 1, keep running back here, there's 2, 3, I think that's it. But I gotta try to drag this one out of the river first. Well, not first. I gotta get the other tree out of the way. Anyway, should be a pretty simple job, and then we get to also sell the wood from all this, so should be pretty profitable as well. So after getting the excavator unloaded, I started delimbing the first of the 3 trees. Once the limbs were all taken care of, I decided to cut it into manageable chunks so I could get them moved off the road with the help of my new excavator. Once the first tree was cleared, I moved on to the next, and after getting that cleared out of the road, it was time to deal with the major one sitting in the river, which actually proved pretty dang easy. So after getting it delimbed and cut up into manageable chunks, it was time to get the dump trailer over. And with the first tree loaded, I was starting to get the hang of this new excavator. And with the 2nd tree kind of filling up the dump trailer, I decided I'd come back for 1 more load. And with our first load bringing us almost $2,300, I headed back to grab the last of the logs. And with those logs now loaded, I headed back to the sawmill 1 more time, which ended up bringing us another $7,526. And since the compound was nearby, I grabbed the lawnmower on the way back so we could finish up this job, which was pretty easy because all I had left to do was clean up some overgrown grass and shrubs. Well, the trail is done. I have finished mowing, and it is a heck of a lot wider now. Look at this. That is a transformation right there. Oh, I missed a little piece of grass here. There we go. But man, this looks way better. We cleared out a bunch of brush, ton of tall grass, the downed trees. I even mowed up on the banks a little bit. This looks great now. Anyways, the reason why the owner of this road wanted this all cleaned up is because he has a field across the river there. It's a pretty big one, and he leases it out, and the guy that leases it can't fit his combines down here currently, so we went ahead, widened out the road, cleaned up everything that was down, and now it looks way better. Oh boy, can I get in here? I'm struggling. Ugh. I got it in here before. I don't know how I did it. Hold on. I have an idea. Okay, this is not a smart idea, but we're going to try it anyway. Here we go. Nice and easy. Yeah, something like that. This is so wrong. Okay, good enough. I put it up on an angle here so I can hopefully just barely fit in the excavator. I'm not too sure if I'll be able to. We're going to try, though. Oh, boy, we're struggling. Oh, the poor truck. Oh boy, this is not good. All right, hold on. I have an idea. Let's lift the front of this up as much as we can. There we go. And I'm gonna close the gate. Perfect. Then set it on down. Nice. And I'm sure the DOT would love me. That looks so ridiculous in so many ways. All right, well, let's get it strapped down here and hope we don't get pulled over. I mean, it's not very far to my house, so I should be good. Oh, this poor little Chevy. It can't handle this much weight. Am I spinning right now? I am. Okay, there we go. We're good again. All right, so it's a little bit later in the day here. I just got paid from that job. Anyways, we're gonna unload the lawnmower here and try and get another job done. We have a quick trenching job that should be pretty easy, but I gotta get this lawnmower unloaded first, and I can't do that with the excavator on here. Okay, mower's off of there. Let's get this thing back on and get over to the job. Well, this should be it. Oh, almost missed my turn. Okay, so this guy just got 2 new grain bins put in here, and he needs power run to both of them. So it should be pretty simple. Basically, we got a trench all the way from over here, down across here, along side of the barn, all the way to the power box right here. The owner already did a call before you dig. We're good to dig along here. So we're going to try see what we can do. So one of the last things you want when you're doing a job like this is to dig up some rainbow roots. That's no fun. So we're going to try to avoid that at all costs. Now, luckily, we don't got to go very deep with this, so this should be pretty simple. I just want to try to get as close to the building as I can here. There we go. That should be deep enough. Now, we just got to go along the barn. Unfortunately, with the Terraform mod, you can't go very narrow when you dig. So you kind of dig a wide hole, but it is what it is. Okay, well, it's been a little bit here. Everything has been trenched, and I kind of filled it lightly back in, but I got to go back over it again. I laid the cord in, so we're good there. I got quite a bit to fill back here. Not too much left. This actually took slightly longer than I thought, but not too bad. It's just a super boring and tedious process, so having it all on camera is a bit ridiculous. Anyways, I'm going to push this all back in here with the excavator. Should be pretty quick process. Yeah, there we go. Real easy. Man, the fact that I can angle this blade is so nice. I can just go on the side of the trench and just kind of push it all in there. Oh, it's great. All right, so at this point, we're just about finished here. The only thing is this is going to settle a good bit once it's all filled back in after a couple days. So we may have to come back and spread a load of topsoil just to kind of smooth it all back out. But for now, we're pretty much finished up here. Well, that's about as good as it gets. Get the heck out of here. Well, I am back at the compound here, and I should probably go buy a pressure washer, but we got paid $1,500 from that job. Probably should have quoted a little bit more because it took a little longer than I thought it would. But nevertheless, learning experience with the excavator. I am loving this thing. We've already made a ton of money in the first full day of us using this thing. We're back up to 45 grand. I'll take it. I just now have a $100,000 loan to pay this sucker off. But it is what it is. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe and goodbye.